I do expect as a customer, the bank to have a 360-degree view of me and to be able to personalize what I should be looking at as a product and services rather than a one-size-fits-all model.
That shotgun approach is now not a thing people want anymore.
In an age where social media platforms deliver a barrage of highly relevant content using a series of complex algorithms and e-commerce firms shipping products to your door almost instantaneously, customers are no longer satisfied with banks that are just digital. The bar for customer satisfaction has been raised significantly, and banks are no longer just competing with each other, and the standards are set by the big techs of the world.
So what we need to fundamentally look at is customers. And what we have seen is customer expectations have changed significantly in the last few years. Why? Customers have been exposed to other industries, and having been exposed to other industries like, let's say, Uber, Grab, they want similar experience from financial services industry also.
As a customer, I expect the bank to know everything about me, from my personal account to my credit card spending, from my mortgages, for my wealth management account. So for that basis, I do expect as a customer, the bank to have a 360-degree view of me and to be able to personalize what I should be looking at as a product and services rather than a one-size-fits-all model. So I think this is really where I see banks need to be more focused on customer personalization.
In order to remain relevant, incumbent banks and challenger banks alike have to deliver hyper-personalized financial services to be able to delight their customers.
Each year we conduct a global survey with the research arm of The Economist, which shows 81% of bankers believe that customer experience rather than products will be where banks seek to differentiate. Hyperpersonalisation, powered by advanced analytics and artificial intelligence, enables banks to respond to and even anticipate customer needs. Boston Consulting Group estimated personalisation can give a 10% uplift in profits for banks.
New players like Uno Bank and Tyme recognize the importance of this, and by virtue of being cloud-native banks without the encumbrances of legacy systems, they have inherent advantages when setting out on their journey towards hyper-personalization.
Obviously very important, especially in the longer term.
Absolutely critical, absolutely non-avoidable. It is important that we follow a strategy of hyper-personalization. There's absolutely no point if we try swarming our customers with each and everything which is not relevant for them.
As a digital player with less physical infrastructure coming into a market where there are established players, it's really important to have a plan. We have the right kind of data analytics tools in place to be able to start delivering hyper-personalization first in messaging communication, product introduction, and then hopefully over time, as we get more mature, we can even structure your interaction with each of our channels in a way that's much more personalized. And we're in a fortunate position. So we don't have 100 years of history and 100 years of customer engagement, but we also have technology that wasn't built 50 years ago that we're having to try and modify now. So making available data about customers' interactions with us, where they drop off, what they don't understand, the ability to architect, to collect that data, I think is that first step that we managed. We were fortunate enough to have the ability to get right from the beginning because we're a new entrant.
Today is the time for absolutely hyper-personalization. You have limited engagement time with your end client, and you need to make sure that you're really making a difference in his or her financial life. Hyper-personalization is not a one-day journey. It's a roadmap, it's an evolving roadmap, because with advancement in technology, you can go deeper and deeper into hyper-personalizations.
While it's always been a running joke that banks are dinosaurs, the leading incumbent banks are not asleep at the wheel. Leading global and local banks are investing heavily to not only keep the challenges at bay, but also to keep up with ever-evolving customer expectations. And this is not just limited to the consumer banking business.
Yeah, I think definitely it's very important for a bank like HSBC.
I don't think it's negotiable, in fact. I think that's something that every bank that aspires to be a leading bank in Brunei needs to be have that strategy. Yeah.
There's a mega trend that's going on that talks about customization, personalization, as well as embedded finance, right? So the financial services is no longer the same as before. We have to be part of the daily life of our clients, and we have to be embedded in their workflow as well. I come from the corporate and the institutional side of things, right? So, but even though there's more personalization or customization at the personal banking level, but organizations are basically made of people, and people like their interface to be customized. So that's why there's a role for us to play in the corporate banking space as well.
Bruneians travel a lot. A lot of them are educated overseas, so they have wide exposures of what's happening in the region and around the world. And therefore, Brunei customers are actually very demanding. And with the move for the bank into Temenos cloud computing, that is the building block for many things to come. And one of which is that we want to have better engagement with our customers as part of the hyper-personalisation process. Very important that that engagement process has to be there, which had not been possible with the old system.
Baiduri, which is Brunei's largest bank, is among the growing trend of banks turning to composable banking to become more agile and remain competitive.
Composable banking is about breaking down monolithic banking technology products into granular capabilities. You can think of these capabilities like Lego blocks. They can be composed any way you want, deployed individually, integrated into wider technology landscape, wrapped into specific services. Let me give you a couple of examples. PayPal is using our platform to launch their Buy Now, Pay Later proposition across multiple jurisdictions. In 2 years, they scaled up to 48 million loan applications. Their CEO called it the fastest start to any product they ever launched.
The modern bank has to contend with far more challenges compared to just a decade ago. For many, hyper-personalization holds the key to survival. And in the end, the banks who remain are those who are able to provide the best personalized experience at scale to their customers.